This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we pick out what you can ignore about nutrition and training just to be stronger, look better, and have a happy life. Also, dear God, Kai Green's trainer. Three, two, one. Just put some CBD oil in my Diet Coke, mate. Good.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. That would have got a better laugh on the first take. Brilliant.
Yeah, but you're into so sure.
Absolutely nuts.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but CBD oil has got to be the most hyped up thing in the world. Like I follow some ex-professional footballer who I actually used to work with when I was at Reading, has just started his own company selling it, and he was on the radio going, I wish this was around when I was playing, it would have prolonged my career. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Definitely wouldn't have, mate.
Give me in 2 sentences what CBD oil does.
Absolutely fuck all.
All right, brilliant.
Give me the second one. Placebo, mate. It's just a placebo.
And I just explained to Dan that I had a coffee with it in Body Power, and I was like telling the guys that I was like, it's a bit counterintuitive. Didn't have a clue. They just lease the machines, don't they? All right.
Yeah,
all right, good. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, coffee's great, by the way, but
I'll tell you what,
putting the oil in it don't do any favours.
Kai Green's train will be on it soon, so don't worry about it.
Will be on it. That's a little sneak peek. That's like a tease, mate. Industry tease. Yeah. What's going on, mate? You had a hard week. You went MNU conference. Is it a conference?
Yeah, we're at the conference over the weekend. So
I'm not cool enough to go to these.
You're not. Definitely not. Definitely not.
All the cool kids were there. Amelia was there, I saw.
Yep, and there was loads. Dr. Mike was there. Tom Blackman was there.
I'm sad I didn't get my invite.
I don't think anyone else that we would know of.
It's all nutrition.
Mainly nutrition based, yeah.
That's why I wasn't there.
Yeah, well, exactly. There you go. It was a good event though. It was good to catch up with everyone. Obviously, I had a 2-day hangover, as people would have seen on my Instagram, which was not good.
Did you drink?
Yeah.
I told somebody about the story where we went out for steaks, and then Dan said he was hungover the day after, and he'd been drinking his Diet Coke, and they wet themselves. So yeah, thought that was
no. I said not hungover. Standard, you make me look bad. I actually was hungover, but we left the club and it was light outside. I was like, fucking hell, that's how you know it's late night. Yeah, it was not good at all. And then I had to drive home 2.5 hours the next day, feeling very rough. So yeah, that was good.
That is good.
And then came back to a screaming 3.5-year-old, which is always good when you're hungover. Always fun. But yeah, we're gonna have to keep this one short today, aren't we, Tom? We're gonna have to keep this one short, aren't we, Tom? Because you're tired, is it, mate?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired.
You sent me a message today at midday. Oh, I'm a bit tired. Can you postpone the podcast?
Yeah, I buckled down, and then I don't know. I haven't been sleeping very well. A little bit, light sleeping, I guess. Maybe it's because it's getting a bit warmer. Tom's not good at sleeping in the warm.
I think just being a pussy, mate.
And then I was like, oh, man up, Jesus Christ! I just had a long day. It was a bit of a long day. Yes, Stan. Believe it or not, part of my job is to being annoying to some people and call them out.
I can believe it. I can believe that. I can believe that. Don't you worry, mate.
Just internal squabbles, mate, we'll call it.
And you had 2 hours of your life wasted as well. So
called somebody out on something and they didn't take it very well, and then basically end up having a little argument, mate.
It wasn't about the burger topping choice, was it?
It wasn't about burger topping choices. No, it was.
Because we all know you'd be right about that. So it's fine.
No, it was about leadership. But yeah, interesting. Not being a boss and a leader, different things, isn't it? But it's weird because obviously I have the responsibility of helping people's careers, so it's quite looked at quite nicely. And then obviously some people have to be bad guys. Which isn't me very often, but can be, but really annoying. Bit of an annoying day. It just got me feels, mate. Very.
See how much better you feel now that you're talking to me.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all
good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All is well in the world now, mate, because you've got your CBD oil in your Diet Coke. You're all good.
It's all good.
Don't worry about it.
It's all good. Just a little bit tired. You probably heard it in my voice. A bit slower than normal. instead of going a million miles an hour when I get excited. Right, but really the real news, which I did post, was this about Batman.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely
ridiculous.
Crazy. Robert
Ridiculous.
Pattinson is the new Batman.
Ridiculous.
Like,
one of the worst decisions.
Fucking a vampire Batman.
Ridiculous.
What?
I'm not even a big follower. I'm not even that really big into it. I'm not hugely that bothered about it. But even I know that is dreadful.
I mean,
that's dreadful casting. Like, just awful.
Ben Affleck was terrible. He's just like some fat Batman. He was crap.
Jason Statham, mate, should have got it.
Jason Statham should have got it.
Would have been better than Robin fucking Pattinson. But
well, who else was going for it? The About a Boy boy.
The About a Boy, yeah. He's not that. He is still a boy by the looks of him, isn't he?
Yeah, he does look like a boy. That was the thing. Who was it last time? Oh, it was Ben Affleck, but yeah. Just bad. Just awful. Anyway,
Totally devastated, mate.
Had to bring it up. Robert, I've never watched any of the Twilights. I turn them off if it comes on.
His face, yeah, I know.
It's just like he was in Harry Potter as well. That was awful.
Yeah.
Well, I love Harry Potter, but one of the worst characters got Harry in trouble, basically. Absolutely.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Can't believe he did that.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, to go save him. He died as well, which was good, but like, yeah.
His character died. He didn't die.
His character died. He didn't die because he's got to play Batman. 33. Crazy. Yeah, mate, so we've got a few things. So Dan went a bit ranty. We'll do that at the end.
That doesn't sound like me.
Yeah.
That does not sound like me.
Because we're short of time. We're not short of time. We could go on forever, but I realise people have got lives to lead apart from listen to us. So I thought it was an interesting question. Based off what Dan... he came on ranting, basically, before our podcast started, about certain, well, I guess, training theories. They're training theories.
Theories.
Religiously followed by some people. So I kind of just said, basically, a topic can be, what can you ignore in the fitness industry if you just want to get stronger, look better, and lead a decently happy life? Which is probably, I'd say, if anybody calls out this, I was like, that's probably our niche, isn't it then? Like all those
I
things.
would say 100%, mate. People that want to do the bare minimum but get the best results from it. I would say.
That's exactly correct. Yeah.
And I am not ashamed of it either.
No, 100%. I'm like, but Tom, yeah, you're not getting the. I was like, I'm casting my net to 90% of the people. So yeah.
And I can relate to them 100%. So we're all good there.
Yeah, we're absolutely fine. So it's very strange. But yeah, what was the thing that kind of sparked you off that we decided? So number one, and we'll split them into training and nutrition. We'll go training, nutrition. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I've got three. Okay, so this is training.
The whole thing with the training one was just around like how, and it's fine. It's different niches and it's 100%. And I get it, but it's the whole thing around bodybuilders and like understanding their volume and how perfect their volume, I think they call it volume landmarks, need to be. And it's stuff that like Mike Israel talks about a lot. We were at the seminar the other week with him as well, and it's this sort of stuff. And it's starting to like, I feel that like normal people, and that sounds a bit bad to say that, but normal people, like the people we would work with, get caught up in it. And it's like, no, it's just for bodybuilders. Like, you don't need to worry about it. Like, bodybuilders will get the data for everything. They will keep everything logbooked. They will understand everything. They'll track their sleep. They'll do everything possible to get 0.1% gains. But it seems to have filtered down into that everyday general public, where they're like really going to town on their volume landmarks of like what volume they can get away with and get results, what volume they can maximally recover from, and it's like these people that are actually getting the results with this sort of thing and these sort of protocols track every single variable possible in the whole entire fucking world and have done for years, and therefore they can change these things. Yeah. If you've just started out, you will not ever know your max recoverable volume or your minimum or whatever. I don't even know.
So I'll briefly explain what Dan means. So you might have within the fitness industry, I'm sure some people, like half our listeners, don't even probably haven't even heard of it. But there's something. So you got MEV, which is minimal effective volume, which
That's
is
my kind of volume.
That's
That's
exactly
my kind of
what me and Dan do.
That's exactly.
That
Get that
is,
and you're fine.
which is the minimal dosage of volume or lifting that you can do, but to expect results, which is great. But why go further, basically? And then there's MRV, which is maximal recoverable volume, which is the most volume you can do but still recover efficiently. And then you've got maximum adaptive volume, which is MAV, which is slap bang in the middle of that, basically. So it's kind of the nice point between not killing yourself and kind of half-assing it.
Yeah.
Really. But I've just managed to flick up a sheet. I put MRV, MEV training into Google. Shock. And then I clicked on something called the Hypertrophy Guide, which is very interesting. So you're going to love this then. So we've got back, chest, biceps, triceps, rear delts, side delts, front delts, traps. Oh, traps twice. Abs, glutes, quads, hamstrings, calves. All divided up into every single one of these. This is a general guide, hypertrophy, telling you exactly how much maintenance volume sets you have to do with them. So chest, only 8. 8, that's your maintenance. No, nothing else, all right? Minimal, 10. Brilliant, okay. So to get minimum effective dosage of volume is 10 sets of, doesn't say reps yet. Then we've got 12 to 20 for MAV, 22 for maximum recovery volume of sets on chest. You can do 2 to 3 sessions a week on chest, and it has to be 5 to 10 reps pressing and 10 to 20 reps isolation exercises. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you won't. Nothing will happen, mate. So
yeah, it's one of those where like.
So imagine that for every single muscle that I just named.
So this is in no way. I like Steve Hall's work. I absolutely love it. I love Steve Hall. Great guy. Met him loads of times. Michael Sotell, again, knows all this sort of stuff. And this is not, please do no one take this as like us having a go at what they've developed and how they do it. What we're having a go at is people who see that and take it on board without understanding all the variables that are required to understand and to appreciate those sorts of numbers and understand it. Like, if you work with bodybuilders who you've worked with for 2 or 3 years, you can work all that out and you can have their own individual numbers and all that sort of stuff, and it'll work like a dream. You don't have to look at Steve Hall's physique to see in the last year he's fucking exploded. As a natural, he's got so big, so quick. It's incredible. So it clearly works. This is not us slagging off the protocols and all that sort of stuff. No, absolutely not. What this is an issue with people who have just, in my opinion, got no understanding of all the variables that contribute to recovery, to training, to understanding whether a warm-up set counts as, like, sort of questions I get, for example, from my clients would be, does a warm-up set count as one of those sets? I'm like, depends what load you're lifting. Well, it's a warm-up set. Well, what does that even mean? Because you can warm up with 8%, 90%. Like, is it a feeler set? Is it a working set? Like, all these things are questions that I get all the time from people. And it's like, okay, well, let's break it down. So where does that fit in? So this is what I'm talking about when I see it is the incorrect implementation of a protocol that does work. That is a theory that has been shown anecdotally over time and time again that it works, and these people get amazing results. I'm going to have to keep reiterating that because I'm sure someone's going to go, oh, Steve, you need to watch this. I'll tell him myself. My point is that people see that and they don't see the amount of work and effort and data that goes into understanding those numbers and think that they can implement it. And I get plans through from people like, I've had it before. Brand new client started, oh, yeah, I do 14 sets on my back. I do 16 sets on my chest. I do this on this because that hits this, that hits that. And I'm like, mate, you're drinking 5 coffees a day and going to bed at midnight and waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Don't talk to me about all this recoverable volume shit because you haven't eaten a vegetable in 4 days and you haven't slept that much. So let's nail the fundamentals, maybe. Like, let's get things focused. And like you said,
I've been doing. I haven't slept well. So
it was you, mate. It was you. Yeah, I'm not eating a vegetable, just eating burgers all the time. But the point is, like, it's for us and our clients. We would work at that minimum effective volume pretty much consistently. It's like, right, what can my clients do? So, like with that example, for example, on the chest, right? To maintain your volume on to maintain your chest development, 8 sets, right? To get a minimum effective dose, 12 sets, right? And then the maximum recoverable volume is up to 20 sets. Well, I kind of want my clients to probably be within 12 and 20, somewhere around there. Again, depending on their how advanced they are in their training, be around that sort of number. Maybe I would just go, do you know what I'd probably do, Tom? Probably go about 16, might be all right. Do you know, like, you kind of like, it's probably going to be okay. If you've had a shit night's sleep, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. You might just go a little bit, you might overreach slightly. But the thing that I always have to tell people a lot of the time is that number 8, that 8 sets number is quite important. You know, people think like, oh my god, I missed a session. Oh my god, I'm losing my games. I'm like, no. You just missed one session, which means you might have missed 3 sets on chest that week.
Yep.
You can still maintain. Like, it's fine. Nothing's bad's going to happen.
Nothing's going to go lagging. It's absolutely fine.
A lot of my work seems to revolve around that aspect of things. People to understand that they don't have to do 22 sets a week, because they see that as max recoverable volume. They think to themselves, I'll go straight to that
target. Yeah, great.
I'll go 20. Do you know what? I might push it. I might go 24. Like, why not try it? And again, like the whole thing about understanding the reps and stuff, it's like, it's great, but for a lot of our clients, they're not going to be worrying a huge amount about that, because most of mine train in the lower rep range anyway, get a bit stronger, focus more on mechanical tension rather than like they call it, metabolic work, metabolite work, whatever they call it. Like, I wouldn't go through phases with my clients where they do more of that work, because they're not bodybuilders, majority of them.
It's so weird. It's just like, Dan, you have to walk up a hill to get to your house, right?
Yeah.
So we should do Everest next. Basically, you should
exactly.
Go say that. You train for it, so exactly. Why not? Just do it.
And it's just that whole thing of, and like a lot of people do it with their nutrition as well. They do it with all sorts of stuff. Like, they try and hit their muscle protein synthesis every 4 hours, bang on exactly. And I'm like, mate, you're not even hitting your number of calories you need to grow. Like, you're not even drinking any water during the day. It's all just coffee and diet drinks. It's like,
whoa. Why do you keep using me?
That was me, yeah.
That was you? Alright, okay.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting, like, just the incorrect use of protocols. And we see it all the time, right? The amount of times we see it is ridiculous with nutrition, training and stuff. It's like people who train first thing in the morning. I want to try intermittent fasting. Pointless. Ridiculous. You train first thing in the morning. Everyone want to try it. Don't train first thing in the morning. It's the only time I can train. Don't do intermittent fasting then.
No.
Like, you see it all the time, and that's another example. Like, there's nothing wrong with intermittent fasting, just like there's nothing wrong with that training protocol. It's about understanding what goes into it and understanding if it's right for you. So yeah, it just like, I just find it quite funny that some people can't see, and I think it's almost a bit insulting as well, to think that you can just jump in there and do that and understand.
Considering like these guys have been doing it for a while and they've come up with this theory, and it's like, oh, this is because they've been training for so long.
And also, they work with their clients for so long. They work with these guys for 2 years. They take them to stage. They go through off seasons with them. They go through dieting phases, and it's like our clients come in and go, yeah, I want to just lose a bit of fat and feel better in my jeans. And I'm like, okay, cool, we can do that, no problem.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't have to worry about that with you. Like, it's not, it's not about eking out every single little thing. And it's just, I just find it interesting.
And if it gets to that stage, then 100% we can take you there. But it's probably not our bag. We'd probably be like, all right, well, you could probably go to another coach now, because that's not really what I do. We could, but then it's probably not time efficient for you. So yeah, very strange. Was that one of your nutrition ones as well? Protein synthesis?
No, not particularly. No. I think, but in terms of what people worry about again with their nutrition is,
what can you ignore with your nutrition?
You can you could ignore your like carb and fat ratio. Like, people say, oh, do I need to hit this fat?
That was one I wrote down, mate. Yeah, we go.
I was like, no, you just hit your protein, hit your calories. You just don't need to know about it. Like, you just don't need to worry about it. Bodybuilders and stuff do, potentially, to a degree. You don't need to worry about it. Go on preference. If you like high fat foods, eat high fat foods. If you like high carb foods, eat high carb foods. Like, there's no real preference. There's
one that's fallen into our laps over the last, I don't know, month or so is, how concerned are you on particularly types of carbohydrates as well?
It's one of those where, like, I think with sugar and shit like that, obviously people talk about it a lot, but like, and this kind of got brought up at the MNU conference, I suppose, a little bit. Really? Is that don't leave sugar lying around the house, because you're going to want to eat it. It's pretty simple. Like, and I think whereas we know flexible dieting works, we understand how all that sort of stuff is useful. But for me, it's more about, I would keep that sort of stuff for social events, and I would keep the majority of the carbohydrates you consume on a daily basis, single ingredient as best you can. There's another thing as well from that seminar that we got, which was probably talked about already, is like trying to get in a variety of 30 different fruits and vegetables and carbohydrate sources effectively, to maintain a healthy gut. So I think from that point of view, it's pretty useful to consider some veg and some fruit and things like that in terms of carb sources, because it's easy with flexible diet now to just be like, oh, I can eat pizza and just get away with it. It's like, yeah, you're probably not going to feel that great doing it. So try and maintain those healthy habits at home. But One thing that I've noticed a lot is not stressing about carb and fat ratios and just eating what you want when you want. Allows that degree of diet flexibility without constantly eating shit food all the time.
Yep. I concur, mate. One more training one from me. I don't know if we can put these into two because they're gonna have the same caveat at the end of what I'm gonna say about them. One is fascial sling training. If anybody doesn't know what that is you have fascial lines and fascial slings all over your body, right? And it helps kind of pattern your left and your left shoulder to your right hip and vice versa, and how we move like contralaterally as human beings. And then another one is excessive mobility work, which seems to have crept into I don't know. I guess it all started with like Supple Leopard and CrossFit and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of taken. It's not me getting ranty about FRC, but I do like the FRC protocols. Absolutely fine. It's just P&F stretching gone like on steroids. And then it's the excessive amount of it which seems to be taking over certain things. So yeah, it does.
We got asked about it at the workshop. Me and Mike did. I got asked about the mobility stuff, and they were like, "Oh, how do you incorporate that into warm ups and all this sort of stuff?" And I was like, "Well, mobility work does not have to be done. In fact, probably shouldn't be done just before you train or right after you train. Like, why put yourself through it? You can do it anyway. You don't need a gym. Like, do it at home. Do it as a completely separate session." And all of a sudden, the look on their face was like, I know I can do this in front of the TV, and I'm like, yeah. Of course you can.
I think like static stretching is still a thing, guys. Like, absolutely fine. And if you have a floor in front of your television, sit there and just hold something for like 3 minutes. The thing is that people think that static stretching doesn't work and it doesn't stick. Yeah, there's some premise to it, but also, when was the last time that you held it for like 3 to 4 minutes and just held it there, just like rocked into a pendulum pose and stayed there? And you'd be like, but you feel pretty loose straight afterwards. Yeah, but it might not stick, Tom. Okay, cool, but it probably wasn't going to stick when you were doing it like for 2 seconds anyway before your workout, so it doesn't really matter, does it? And if we got that changeable effector when we were doing it then who knows? You might walk around after that and it might stick, vaguely. And then the fascial line training is, I mean, both of them are just like, all right, have we ever gone into like, are we just going to lift some heavy fucking shit for a certain amount of time at end ranges and see what fucking happens? Let's just see what happens. It's like, I'm not saying that me and you are excessively strong, Dan, but I think one thing that we both have is mobility, and it's never kind of gone away. So we can both, weirdly, we can probably both hit an overhead squat, weirdly, without doing excessive amount of mobility work. We can both do
it's all the fascial sling work.
All the fascial sling work we did previously. But shockingly, a lot of these guys who just lift heavy, go to end range, work their whole kind of spectrum, just maintain that all the time. And just do it for a while. Don't expect like, oh, I've done it for 6 weeks, so it doesn't work. I'm talking like, let's do it for 6 months to a year and see what sticks and what stays. Because those stretch, I don't know, cycles and all of that stuff that you're going to be is going to go into the muscle, and it's going to stay there because you've been working at end range. You've strengthened the muscle at that range. It's going to stay. So it's just, I think it was just, I don't know if it's not a waste of time, but it's I don't know, a waste of breath maybe. But work it into your heavy stuff. Just, I think, apart from powerlifters, you're like, oh, we don't need to lift heavy. I was like, yeah, but you can still do like a single arm row heavy, like absolutely fine. I don't think that, like, that's one thing I do with my clients quite a lot. Oh, you went and laugh at the doo-doo joke. Jesus
I wasn't going to do it again this year already. I'm not going to do it again.
Is like dead stock rows or really heavy ass single arm rows with dumbbells. So I'm talking like 4 to 6 repetitions, like probably 4s with a dumbbell row. It's still going to be clean. It's still going to be nice, but I'm going to guarantee that probably people listening, I'm going to say maybe 2-3% might program that kind of stuff. But that's an end range mobility is going to be class. Help you deadlift as well. It's magic. But it's strange that some of these exercises don't get done too heavily. Maybe that's because of, I don't know, the amount of muscle mass being used, or obviously prioritizing squats, deadlifts, stuff like that. But have we ever? It's interesting. Have we ever flipped that round and gone, all right, I'm going to use some of these slightly smaller ones, hit them like hell heavy, and then do some higher rep stuff on the squats and deadlifts? Be interesting. Do it, Dan. Do it.
I'll do it. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks. I'll do the high reps, squats, and deadlifts. Shall I? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to do that bit. So.
Yeah. Obviously, I ranted last. I think I talked last week about how your training plan shouldn't look perfect, didn't I? Didn't I go over that last week about how you shouldn't fill it in and it shouldn't look the same? So that's one thing we kind of covered last week. So I'm not going to go over it again.
God forbid we repeat ourselves.
Yeah. God forbid that. Yeah. But one thing there is that you have to fucking squat to like get the glutes or something. That fucking winds me up. Like, oh, I've got to have squats in my program. No, you don't. Ridiculous. You just don't have to have back squats in there or front squats or any other squat. You don't have to have squats in there. And it's that whole thing around that there's exercise you have to do. It's like, no, there's not. Yeah. No. You don't have to do any exercise.
that's one that comes from. We were talking. Two of the guys on our education team are heavily rehab based, and one of them made a really good point. And then he got wound up about talking with physios and how you go to a physiotherapist and they will prescribe an exercise. And then he was just like, all right, okay. And he's like, yeah, I've like my soleus is tight, so I've got to do this exercise. And then he was like, all right, so that's the special soleus untightening exercise. That one, that's the one that does it. All right, yeah, just smash them out. Then they're great. That's definitely the one that's gonna do it. It's like none of the other shit's gonna help, but definitely that's the magic exercise. That's the soleus guy. You're like, no, it's the whole stuff. Everything is working. Yeah. Go lift heavy. It's gonna loosen up at some point. It's like there's no magic exercise that's gonna do that. It's very, but that's some physios that are slightly lazy and not probably in tune with training, realizing everything fucking moves together. But yeah, it was quite ratifying getting that from an osteo that was just being like, what the fuck just move, like move better, move more frequently and move with heavy shit on your back. You'd probably be okay. Very strange, but the magic soleus. Yeah, that's one of my ranty ones on there. It's just bugging me. And also weird ass gym equipment.
I'm not fussed about that really. I don't really see it as much of that.
You don't see it as much too. So we look at there's certain stuff that gets shoved in our faces, and I'll be like, yeah, let's look at this. All right, buy this, please. Like, no, I'm not buying that. Why do I need that?
One of the things I hate about nutrition as well is thinking that you have to be on the same number of calories every single day. Winds me the fuck up. You know, you see people and they're like, I'm on 1,800 calories today. Why not 1,700? Why not 1,900? Why 1,800? Like, obviously, if your coach gives you a certain amount, that's fine. But like, my point is, people stress about being dead on it. And I'm like, no, you can go 200 calories under it. The next day, you can go 200 calories over it. As long as over the weeks, or even week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, over a month, whatever you want to look at it, however you want to look at it, as long as you're on point and you're consistent, you're going to be okay. And I think people seriously like panic about hitting their calories like bang on, and I see it all the time from people. And I'm like, even people that I've got doing photo shoot prep for, not this weekend, coming the weekend after, like the amount that you see people stressing, it really is. And obviously it's because they've got an event coming up, and I get that, but most normal people you see it as well. And I'm the one that has to go, no, calm down, have some flexibility, like enjoy a few extra food. Like I just don't, it's sometimes a bit baffling. Like again, you're not going on a bodybuilding stage, like you're not trying to do all that sort of shit, and it just like, I don't know, it just winds me up. Because I'm a bit more flexible, and I guess it's a bit more a case of like, I have clients say to me, I did 1,700 there, and 1,900 there, and then 2,000 there, and then I was down to 1,500 there, and I was like, yeah, and that's all good. Why are you worried about
Absolutely
it?
Fine.
Why do you think that's a bad thing?
It's called flexible dieting, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy, but it is what it is. Never mind.
All right, mate. Let's let you rant. I think Dan's gonna go off on one about Kai Green's trainer.
Oh, fucking moron!
Talking about, is it max protein intake?
So yeah, he's just, I don't know how it came up on my explore page on Instagram. I also saw Martin McDonald post about it as well. But basically, this guy called George Farrar. He's got 180,000 followers on Instagram. Brill.
You're so jealous.
I am extremely jealous. It's more a case of that this information is going out to those sorts of people.
Yeah.
But he's Kai Green's trainer. And in case you didn't know, he tells you in every single video, apparently.
Does he?
But he basically said, he's like, too much protein is toxic. Too much protein. You can't absorb more than 30 grams of protein. So if you're having 60 grams, it turns toxic. And what happens is, the protein, your body can't handle it. It turns into carbs. It turns into excess fat, which makes you fat. Not really though, because your body can absorb more than 30 grams. It can use more than 30 grams. It doesn't always turn into carbs. So that was one thing. And then, but again, using his appeal to authority of, I'm Kai Green's trainer. Like, I took Kai Green today. I did that. And then he went on. He talked about glutamine. Glutamine. All these people telling me it doesn't work. They tell me the studies show this, the studies show this. I don't care about the studies. I know it works. Brilliant. Right, you know better than scientists who've studied it. Brilliant. And then later on in the video, he goes, but there's studies that show that, glutamine post-workout boosts growth hormone 400%. So, I'm like, so you don't believe in the studies when it doesn't suit you, but when it does, that you're happy to use them. And basically, the guy is just an absolute moron, preaching about protein, saying how it's toxic, saying how it's bad for you if you have too much of it. And it's just absolutely frightening because people will go, he's Kai Green's trainer. He must know what he's talking about. So, it's like, I just don't understand it. Like, it's just so annoying that it's out there. I'm trying to remember what else he said. I put it on my Instagram story. Let me just get it up now and play it, because that'd be fun, wouldn't it? You'll be able to hear it. If I hold up the microphone close enough, you'll be able to hear exactly what I said and what he said, because it's quite funny. There you go.
If your body only can absorb 30 grams of protein, that's eating every 2.5 to 3 hours, and you took 50 or 60 grams, the other 20, 30 grams of protein is going to turn automatically into carb. So now too much carb, what would happen? It'll get stored, and as a result, it'll become fat. You see what I'm saying? So too much carb, you're not burning it. It's going to be an extra calorie, so you're going to gain weight instead of losing weight.
Brilliant. Then
brilliant. So
we all know, if you have too much protein, it becomes toxic, and it makes you hold water. And if you hold water, now your body's fighting, and your kidney trying to get rid of it. And if you don't drink enough water, now it become even more toxic. So
brilliant.
So
right,
water's toxic as well.
There's more. So that's what he said. So basically, the water retention is bad for you and all this sort of stuff. Kidneys and liver work really, really hard. All this sort of shit. Absolute crap. Then this is the bit about glutamine.
That's why you go to the toilet.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. Then this is the bit about glutamine.
Let's see, like a lot of people tell me, glutamine doesn't do anything, go study so and so. Dude, listen to me. I don't care what study said or what this said. I use glutamine, and I know that glutamine works. Like I said, many people, they want to argue that it doesn't work. Okay, dude, if it doesn't work, we'll take you guys to the Olympia. Let's see how many guys you have. Glutamine works.
He basically goes, all right, mate, if you don't think glutamine works, you take your guys to the Olympia stage. It doesn't work like that, mate. That's not proof. That's not proof, mate. Because they're definitely taking Tren and everything else. Right, this is the last clip, right?
The glutamine is the most, used or basically the most amino acid that it's gone while working out, while your strenuous workout. So you deplete it the most. So it's good to replenish it. What happened, just like a lot of people say, there are studies say it's not good. Well, there's a lot of studies says that it takes your GH level and bring it up by 400%. You know what I'm saying?
Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Like,
you know what brings your GH level up 400%?
Injecting GH.
GH, mate.
Yeah, that'll do it, mate. Honestly, like, I just don't understand.
Oh, that's bonkers. Yeah. 30 grams of protein doesn't fucking matter. Jesus. You can definitely eat more than that. I will. I don't think it will.
Kai Green's trainer.
But I didn't realise that the body was magic, and then it just changes proteins into fats, then into carbs. Just does what it kind of does what it wants, doesn't it? Just weird. Hits that limit, then done.
Yeah, and it's just painful, because he says it in such a way that it's just, like I said, that appeal to authority, and he says it in such a confident way, and you're just like, the guy's clueless, like absolutely clueless. And it's like, look, at some point, is having too much protein not ideal, because you could probably have other foods that are going to help you better, and like in terms of calories, they're going to be better for your body. Yeah, probably. Like, there's no need to go above 3 grams per kilo body weight of protein a day. No need.
No.
Probably not really any need. But to say that you can't absorb it, is just so stupid. It's like we have evolved, right? Do you reckon that years ago, right? Obviously, a long time ago. Do you reckon
years?
Yeah, I mean, I realised when I said years.
3 years.
2-3 years. You know, you see a bit when you see a bit of roadkill on the side of the road, you just want to eat it. No, but like, does he really think that as a species we survived to come across a dead animal or to kill an animal and just leave most of it because we're going, we can only absorb 30 grams of that?
Yeah, that's true.
No, you would eat the whole fucking thing in one go. Like, ridiculous concept. Like, but
then you get fat, mate. So
yeah, they were fat, weren't they? Yeah, real fat. Yeah, really fucking ridiculous.
Lean Neanderthals.
Yeah, I hate doing that whole thing of like, back when we were cavemen.
Yeah.
I hate people say that.
You love that because you're like, all right, what's the caveman diet thing?
What's the caveman?
Paleo fix.
Yeah, paleo.
Yeah, these paleo cookies. All right, yeah, brilliant. Okay.
Exactly.
These like, cookies that the caveman's had. All right, okay.
Yeah, but does he not think that like, everyone sat around there going, I can't eat more than that? Jimmy, mate, come on. You can't absorb that. It's going to go toxic. You're going to hold water. It's not a good look. Like, ridiculous. Like,
Jimmy's always going toxic. Such a friend.
Oh, Jesus. Jimmy, you've eaten too much steak again.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a bit watery, son. Come on.
Just like goes like Stay Puft Man. It's just Jesus Christ.
Hey, you're not gonna place first. You're not gonna place first. Like, and again, it's one of those where I understand, like, top level bodybuilder. You might want to control a few things, but the reality is the amount of drugs they're injecting. They haven't got to worry about whether they absorb 30 grams of protein. Like, it's just not an issue for them. And it just scares everyday people to thinking that they can't eat more protein or whatever. And it's like, no, we're very well capable to have 3 portions of protein through the day that more than 30 grams. Like, we're more than capable. It's frightening. It's frightening, the shit people say. But he's just an idiot. Doesn't know anything. He doesn't know some shit.
It's madness, isn't it, mate? It's crazy. Right, let's end on a nice note because I've just sent you 3 pictures.
You have, mate, and I'm salivating actually.
I know. So I have a buddy that seems to have a hobby of thanks, Chloe, sending me just pictures of cereal and then helpfully circling the ones that she likes.
Why would she do that? This is like torture.
I know, right? It's awful.
This is look just, what you can't have in your country.
No, it has a folder of like stuff like cereal pictures sending to Tom. Like, brilliant. Okay, wonderful. Just like, I like that. I like cereal. Brilliant. All right. So I thought it'd be interesting because this is in the States, right? So who was over in Indy, and so she circled honeycomb. Right, fine. Looks alright. Pop-Tart one. I want to try. That looks cool.
Yeah, I also want to try the one. She's not circled it, but
she's not. I'll give her grief for that. Sorry.
Chocolate frosted flakes. I mean, I used to remember them. They used to have them over here because they were so sweet. I was like, fucking brilliant. But also, someone sent me a message the other day. I can't remember if they listened to the podcast or not. But they got Lucky Charms frosted flakes in B&M stores in England.
Well, I'm assuming that she gave me the frosted flakes Lucky Charms, yeah, and
you can get them.
Chowed them down. It was great.
B&M sell them apparently.
Decent. I don't know why she circled Cookie Crisp. Boring.
Awful.
Oreos.
Those s'mores are good. I've had them before.
S'mores are good, yeah. That'd be quite.
So I'm all over the apple cinnamon Cheerios. Like, I'm really annoyed that we don't have the apple cinnamon flavour over here of anything.
Apple cinnamon. That'd be fun. We have like peanut butter crunch. Is that Captain Crunch? Yeah, it's Captain Crunch peanut butter. That'd be decent. We have the Reese's Puffs over here, don't we?
Yeah.
Chocolate frosted flakes. Like, they're actually the Frosties, aren't they? They're actually Frosties, but chocolate.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Exactly. That's what they used in the UK, but then they stopped them because obviously there was sugar in them. Yeah. They were very, very good.
Absolutely bonkers. But I think out of all of them, I want to try the Pop-Tarts, the chocolate frosted flakes. They look incredible. But yeah. Salivating, annoyed. Thanks for the pictures. Keep doing it, 100%. Oh, keep doing it, but because you'll probably listen and be like, "What the fuck?" Tom? Brilliant. Interesting, mate. Any other news? Any other business?
No other business from moi.
When's our guest on? We got another guest.
You tell me, mate. You're the one that's organising.
It's not next week, but the week after. But I guess we'll shout out, we'll ask for questions, etc. I don't know, next week.
Michael Golden, is that?
Michael Golden, the educator, and I don't know who's the founder, but he's certainly a bloody smart guy of Integra Performance, Integra Education, all the resistance stuff. If you are a bodybuilder and you want to get bigger, then listen to this show. A lot of stuff that obviously Luke and Callum do from the Muscle Mentors. Basically, he is their god, I believe.
Luke goes to see him every week, I think, for a session. Pretty sure every other week.
Cringly through that, I didn't hear a word.
Oh, sorry. I think Luke goes to see him like every week or every other week for a session with him.
Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, they like. Is he mentoring them?
Mentoring, maybe something like that. Who knows?
Something like that. Anyway, really, really nice guy. He was on stage with me at Body Power, but it's going to be. I think it's just interesting because we come from two different ends of the spectrum of biomechanics.
I'm just going to mediate the fight, basically.
It's definitely not going to be a fight. It's going to be like both me and Dan were like, so we're going to sit down and take notes, Michael. If that's
you just
all right.
talk. We're just going to take
just talk, and we will take notes. Be absolutely fine. So yeah, we'll get some questions for him, and we'll show him what he does. Because he doesn't seem to shout about what he does that much, but we definitely will shout about him. Cool,
we could do that.
All right, mate.
Speaking of shouting about what you do, mate, is if anyone wants online coaching, don't forget, just hit me up. Because I can completely transform your physique, and I realise I really don't shout about it that much on the podcast. So I know I give so much information regularly for how long has it been now? Nearly 3 years, ridiculous amount, and I just don't really tell people that. Look,
nearly 3 years. Yeah, we
want my help
past that, mate.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
3.5, 4 years, something ridiculous. Ridiculous, isn't it? That's ridiculous. Yeah. That is ridiculous. And I just realised that I really don't talk about what I do enough on here. So if anyone wants my help, send me a message. There you go. That's all I wanted to say.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks if you ever, I don't know. Well, we ask for any ratings, all that kind of stuff. Do that.
That stuff as well. Stuff as well. We don't do anything. Yeah. See, this is what I mean. Is like someone said to me the other day. They were like, "Oh, so with marketing and stuff, what do you do?" I'm like, don't really know. What do I do with it? When you realise you're really bad at doing this sort of stuff. I was reading a book basically, and it was basically saying how your listeners or your people who follow your work are your biggest fans. They're the ones that are gonna should be shouting about you. And I was like, no, don't shout about us. I was like, probably because I don't do enough work, and they probably don't enjoy it enough. And I was like, no, actually, he said sometimes you have to ask them to do it. There you go.
It's always interesting. We got a fair few ratings, 120 odd.
20 odd
on Apple. That's not that everybody. We've obviously pissed some people off though because we've got some 1 stars, which is great.
I wonder who that could have been. I know that could have been.
I don't know, to be honest. Probably pissed off a lot of people. But interesting, very interesting. Yeah, quite funny. All right, mate. Yeah, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.